Good morning, good morning. How are you, Facebook? Happy Friday! It is beautiful. You can see the sun beating down on my face. It's 51 degrees right now, on its way to 61 degrees here in Green River, Wyoming. So it's actually lovely. I may not actually need this jacket, and I'm sporting my little coffee shirt. Let me see if I can show you. Look at this. Like coffee is life. It's like it's your heartbeat. I thought it was so cute. Now that I'm a coffee drinker, I get to wear stuff like this. I love it. And you see, I'm alone, nobody with me. I'm walking alone this morning on my break. My dear friend who I posted yesterday, a picture of us walking. It's the first time she's actually not walked with me since moving to the department again. So anyway, I thought what a great time to do a live. I've been telling you guys that I've been doing you guys know I do tons of personal development. Anoa's on here. I know you know all about Brene Brown. A couple of things I'm going to share today are from Brene. I love her books. I love her TED Talk. If you have not seen Brene Brown's TED Talk in Houston, Texas, you need to see that. And then most recently, I just watched her Netflix. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's considered a special, whatever, but she has a new thing on Netflix where she talks a lot of it's kind of the same stuff if you've read her books or even seen the TED Talk. But anyway, I've been promising you guys that I would share a little bit about what I've been learning, and some of it's from Brene, some of it I couldn't even tell you. I'm listening to a couple different personal development books, but some of the things I wrote, I actually have a couple notes. As I'm getting ready in the morning is usually when I'm listening to this stuff. I usually do audiobooks. Oh, that reminds me, there's another one I just put on my wish list. So I usually do audiobooks because I don't have time to actually sit and read, or I'm not a good reader. If I do that, I tend to want to fall asleep. So when I do my audiobooks, it's like in my what I call free time, or time that like you can either be playing music while you're getting ready and doing your makeup and your hair, or in your car, or when I'm walking like this. So that's when I choose to do my personal development. Anyway, so I will be literally getting ready, doing makeup, hair, and I'll stop and write some things. This is my little notebook that I keep right there with me. So a couple of things. Number one, it's out of order, but I'm going to jump straight to the Brene Brown, because this is something that to me is so impactful. We can use it in everyday life. Sometimes we get our feelings hurt or upset or whatever, and for no reason whatsoever. Because here's what she says. The sentence is, the story I am telling myself. Someone may be, ignoring you, or I don't know, you take their tone of voice one way, and all of a sudden the story in your head is that, they're mad at you, or they don't want to discuss that conversation right now, or who knows? There's like a zillion things you can make up, but the story that you are telling yourself right now may have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. One of her examples was with her own husband. She was trying to connect with him. She's not a very personal, she talks a lot about vulnerability, but anyway, so she's trying to reach out to him, and he is clearly dealing with his own crap. And so he doesn't, respond to her the way she thinks he should. So she's taking it one way. He's completely thinking of it different. So there's so many times, just think of that. Like one thing I say is someone, let me switch hands. That shoulder's getting a little, hold on. That shoulder was starting to hurt a little bit. We may get upset. We may, oh gosh, I told this person something, and golly, they're getting all pissy about it or something. You don't know what is going on in their life. You have no idea what shit they are going through. Let's just put it out there. They may have 10 things going on in their head, and they just can't deal with it. They may not even be able to answer your question. They may come off pissy. Has nothing to do with you, right? So we have to remember that. So when you feel that anger or that hurt or whatever, ask yourself, what is the story you're telling yourself in your head? Because it may be your story. It may have nothing to do with either the conversation or whatever's happening. So that's when you have to say that she does this in her marriage all the time. And I've actually started doing this because I can't remember, Dave did something and I remember being like so hurt. And finally I was like, wait a minute. So I just talked to him and I said, okay, what did you mean by that? Because the story that I'm telling myself in my head is this. And he's like, holy shit, Anita, where do you get that? Like, how did you go from here to there? And I'm like, I don't know. And the other thing, we say this all the time, is the world, you don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. All we ever do is use our past, our things that have happened to us. That's what we see. Someone else who lived a totally different life is going to take the exact same situation and see it differently, because we see the world as we are, not as the world is. Same thing with that, conversation or whatever it was that we were having. David certainly didn't see it the way I did. And he's like, what the hell goes on in your head? And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So remember, it's the story you are telling yourself. So if someone has hurt you or, offended you or whatever, just take a second and say, how did you mean that? What did you mean by that? Because the story I'm telling myself is this, okay? It'll change your life. That's just one thing that she teaches. Let me just look at my notes real quick. Some of the things I wrote down. Change your frequency. If you're not happy with the way your life is going right now, let's say your personal life, your business, your whatever, change your frequency. If you just keep doing the same thing over and over, what is that? I can't even remember who says it, but it's ridiculous. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So it just impacted me so easy, because it was like, change the frequency, change the radio station. We all can understand that, right? If you're listening to country music and I'm listening to The Highway and I don't like the song that came on, I can change it to Prime Country or The Roadhouse or whatever the heck, right? But obviously, if I don't like that song I'm listening to, if I don't change the station, I'm gonna still hear it, right? So the same thing with your life. If you're busting your butt and you're doing this and you're doing that, you're trying to build a business or whatever, and it's just not working, change it up. Nothing is going to happen unless you change, okay? Be a dream builder. I loved that one. Be a dream builder. That's all I gotta say. Focus equals feeling. So I talked about this in one of my lives. I don't know, maybe it was this week or last week. If you put feeling behind something, you're gonna go harder at it. Like I said, if you just say, I wanna lose 5 pounds. Okay, great. Maybe you'll work out, maybe you'll go walking on your breaks, maybe you'll say no to that Dr. Pepper once or twice. Clearly those are my issues. We all know this. I think I'm on day 3, no Dr. Pepper. But if you say, damn it, when I pull out those pair of pants, I want them to fit, or I want to feel good in them, or I want to look good in that bathing suit. And you remember that last year when you got in the pool, you were a little embarrassed. Maybe you had a little extra jiggle or something that you weren't used to having. And if you can remember back to that feeling, then you will focus. Then you will go for your dreams. But put feeling behind it. That's why I was talking about, I can't wait to buy my beach house. I have to remember what it feels like to be in Florida, sitting on the beach with my toes in the sand, walking that beach, and I will work harder knowing I'm gonna get to that beach house than just, I'd like to have a beach house, right? So put feeling behind it, you guys. Whatever you're going through, there's a feeling. There's always a feeling. Sometimes you just have to find it. Okay. This one I thought was fun. This one's just easy. You can't go forward in life looking in the rearview mirror. You will crash, right? I mean, it's just that simple. If you're driving your car, please don't do this today and say, Anita said try it. But seriously, say you're just parked right there and you're sitting here looking in the rearview mirror. Are you gonna crash? Of course you are. The people who are depressed are living in the past. And clearly, people with anxiety are so worried about the future. I learned a long time ago, you guys, if you've watched my lives, I had a lot of stuff happen in my childhood. And at age 12, I decided, when I finally met my dad, I say met him, my parents divorced before I was 2. So I made a decision right then and there at 12. There was nothing I could do about 0 to 12, but I could go forward. And I knew that even then. So being mad at my dad, being mad at my mom, being mad at the world wasn't going to get me anywhere. I was not going to have that relationship. But I could do something and decide, okay, the past is the past. Let's move forward and create a great relationship with my dad. And it still ended up being quite rocky from time to time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot live looking at the past. Get over it. The one that I was listening to about this one was about a breakup. And this lady was saying, her life ended like 7 years ago. And the guy's like, well, what happened 7 years ago? Oh, my boyfriend, or whatever he was, I think it was a boyfriend, broke up with me, ruined my life, blah, blah, blah. And so he started asking her questions like, oh, did he stop you from breathing? I mean, like, some serious, he was trying to joke, but like, get her to see she's what's stopping her. That boyfriend isn't stopping her. And I've said this on here too. When you try to hold on to anger about things in the past or something someone has done to you, you guys, you don't have to forget, but you do need to forgive, because trust me, that anger is just going to build, and it's going to be bitterness, and it's going to be like a cancer. It's not hurting that person. Do you think the fact that this lady had not moved on in 7 years was probably hurting her ex-boyfriend? I seriously doubt it. But it had stopped her from living her life. You guys, we get one super, super short life. And I want you all to live it. I'm trying to figure this out myself. I'm 44 years old. And how much of my life have I wasted either, like I said, looking back or being anxious about the future? I can't tell the future. I wish I could. All I can do is be my best self and know that I'm learning and I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday and get rid of perfectionism. I am working on that one. Just be better than you were yesterday. One more thing I wrote down. Oh, this one was a good one. Nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it, right? Oh, there's two more things. But we all give something meaning, and it's probably all very different. Again, it goes back to our experiences. I see things completely different than my husband sees them. We had very different childhoods, which means our experiences were very different. So we're gonna see things differently. We're gonna give things different meaning. And what that means is, like, let's say someone tells me, and I can't think of a good example and I should have wrote one down, but let's say someone tells me they were mad at me, or I don't know, I can't even think of something. Anyway, and I come up with, that means, I've hurt them, they're mad, they're not gonna talk to me anymore, I don't know, whatever. I can't think of something right now. But like, I give it a certain meaning. It's the story I'm telling myself based on my history, my experiences. It may not have anything to do with what they meant, but it's the meaning that I gave it. And so then I'm hurt or I'm mad or whatever. And it wasn't the meaning that was even intended. It was just what's going on in my mind. So a lot of times you guys just think of that like, number one, not everything is about you. Someone maybe just be having a bad day and you're like, why is she so pissed off at me today? What did I do? Probably nothing. She probably has 10 things going on in her mind, and I've told customers that. I had some lady, oh man, she went off on me. And I said, listen, Linda. Her name wasn't Linda, but I don't care what you have going on, because then she started rattling off this bad day she'd had. And I am very empathetic, trust me. I'm very nice to customers, I'm very empathetic, but I said, nothing that you're going through gives you the right to come in here and treat us that way. It just doesn't. And everyone was like, holy crap, shocked. She became like my best friend, always looked for me in the title department. But I just told her how it was. And like, I understand you've got some crap going on, but that does not ever give you the right to treat someone like crap or talk to them in a condescending way just because you're in a bad mood. It just doesn't. So remember that too. On the other hand, like, don't take your stress. I've done it. We've all done it. Don't take your stress and put it off on someone else. It's not going to help anybody. All right. And then there was one last thing. Whatever you look for, you will find. And you guys know this one. Like, what is this? If you say you will, you will. And if you say you won't or can't, you won't. You're right. You'll be right on both ends. So whatever you look for, you will find. That one's a Tony Robbins. I can remember that one because he tells everybody, look around the room. You're like, okay. He says, look for everything that's brown. Everybody looks around. Okay, you know, there's that tree, there's that chair, there's that whatever. Close your eyes. And then he says, okay, tell me everything you saw that was red. Can you find any red? No, because you were looking for brown. So now you close your eyes. Now you look for everything that's red. Oh, I see this over here. I saw that lady had a sweater on. Okay, now close your eyes. Tell me everything you saw that was green. Green! You just told me to look for red. Or, this one always gets me. I'm currently looking for a new vehicle. Not exactly sure what I want to get. So, if, you know, there's a gazillion vehicles out there. Let's say I decide on a black Explorer. I didn't see any black Explorers yesterday, right? I come driving up in my nice little black Explorer. Damn it! 5 people have black Explorers. You start looking for it, right? And that's a simple one, like talking about cars, but you do. Tell me how many of you have bought something, a vehicle or a boat or a trailer, and then all of a sudden you're like, God, 6 of my neighbors have this exact same thing. How did I not notice that? You weren't looking for it. Whatever you look for, you will find. Find peace, you guys. Find compassion. Find positivity. You guys all know I've been working on positivity and getting rid of all the negative in my life. Negative people, negative comments, negative, you know, don't bring me your drama. I don't want it. If I can help you, obviously I want to help you. But don't just come and, you know, I'm getting rid of that. But whatever you look for, you will find. So I am clearly searching for positivity, compassion, love, kindness. If you can be anything, be kind. All right, I'll let you guys go with that, but I wanted to share some of the stuff I've been working on. So yeah, look for some positivity, but just the main thing, I mean, try this for a week. Come back to me and try this for a week and start doing that. The story I am telling myself when someone upsets you, when someone disappoints you, the story I am telling myself in my head is this: what did you actually intend by it? I promise it'll change your life. Have a fabulous weekend. I get to go see my Hopi for her birthday. She turns 22 this weekend. I can't wait to see her. All right, talk to you guys soon.